Hi everyone, so I'm back again this week doing something different. I didn't really do a live stream because, well, I always get lag when I do it, so I pre-recorded this and just doing narration over it. So what I'm really doing is doing a live still study of a skull that I have. Yeah, right now I'm just basically blocking out the form, just trying to find the shapes, block it in like really easy, not focusing too much on detail or anything. Yeah, just mapping out parts of the skull right now. This part here, the eye, I actually had a lot of trouble with that, like the different gradation values, tones. It sort of really played with me a little bit. It was hard to get it right. Yeah, here I'm just mapping out parts of the cheekbone. Eventually I changed most of this because the skull, the way I drew it was a little bit too small. So I had to like warp parts of it, get the size right. I usually start off with the top of the skull first. It's get the larger forms down, then work the jawbone. Here just mapping out the bottom of the jaw, trying to get that right size. Looking back at this now, there's a few size problems, but it gets fixed up. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing now is just finding shapes. As you can see there, what I just did, just trying to map out shapes and not really focus too much on details right now. There's really no point. Just find the right shapes and just work on it like that. Trying to get the cast shadows right as well in that eye. Starting to come along nice. Yeah, you can sort of see around now, around the eye, that I did have a little bit of trouble trying to get that the right values in there. You also start to notice that I always leave the teeth till the end, because to me they're just the hardest to do in a way. Trying to get all the right shadows and light, and it's just really annoying. So this is what I mean here about focusing on shapes. Like you sort of, I don't know, you sort of learn about the planes of the skull, of the face as well, when you work in shapes and not try and sketch everything out perfectly. Like, because I mainly focus on painting my studies or characters, whatever I'm doing. I don't usually draw them out first. I should probably work on that. But for now, painting is really easy. It's so good to just work on shapes. I mean, once you got that down, you just blend everything in, like you're seeing now. Add highlights here and there. So yeah, I probably will still be doing live streams, just not for a while until I upgrade my computer. It can't really handle it. So like right now I'm just using free software to record. I still get a bit of lag, but it's not as bad when I'm live streaming. Yeah, also how I had this light set up, I used a light on my phone and just placed it across from my table facing the skull to get a really nice coarse shadow. You can sort of see now how majority of the dome is lit, and there's just that really nice angular shape that is the shadow, and a little tiny core that's going in between it. I think that is what sort of got me confused around the eye socket as well, trying to get those values in. But eventually I got it right. I just went darker in value. And that's also another thing you should do as well when you're doing studies or live still studies. Don't go straight to dark and super white values. You always want to start in between, so that way you can work yourself up. Because if you go super dark and then super white, you sort of get lost, and you just become like really messy with what you're drawing and what you're painting. So it's really good to just start in between of your values and just work it up from there. So yeah, here I'm starting to map out the teeth, and God, I hated this part so much. Trying to get those shadows right. Yeah, I also noticed that the bottom of the jaw was a little bit out of place, so I just stretched it out there using the lasso tool. Yeah, teeth are always the hardest for me. I also have a question for you guys that are watching. Just for in the future, what would you like to see me draw or paint? So you can post a comment or whatever, just give a suggestion on what you would like to see me draw in the future. Anything at all. Could be a cat or a car. Just trying to interact with you guys more. Yeah, here just working on that car shadow now. Getting close to the end. I think all in all this study probably went for maybe about an hour. Let's try and limit myself to about an hour study. It's a good practice. You build speed and you start to notice more about what you're doing. You don't really have time to fix up mistakes or major ones. So yeah, keeping studies to about an hour is really good. If you get lost in the details, then 2 hours probably like the limit that you want to go for. And always flip the canvas as well as what you've seen what I did. But it's kind of hard when you do a still life because you can't really flip your still life around. So, but yeah, if you're doing a photo study, it's always good to flip the canvas just to make sure that you've got proportions right. Also, what you saw there before with the brushes, I was just trying to find a really good texture to like finalize those really small details, get the nice texture of the skull. Because this one here that I'm using it's basically a plastic resin. It's not like really proper good material, so you have to try and visualize that texture of what a real skull would have. It's very tricky to do. Coming up to the final parts now, just getting into those little tiny details. Just looking back on this now, there's so much more I could have done. But you know, practice makes perfect, I guess. Yeah, just here going across doing those little squiggly lines across the skull, whatever they're called. And then yeah, working in the highlights on that. Coming into the final parts now. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. A bit different from a live stream, so please leave a like or subscribe. Leave a comment if you want me to draw something in the future. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this process. I will be doing live streams again, just when my computer's upgraded. So yeah, for those on YouTube that are watching this, leave a like and subscribe, it helps out a lot. For those on Facebook that are watching this, I hope you enjoyed. Please like if you can, or even share. That would help me out a lot. You know, getting more reach on my page. And yeah, all right, everybody. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day or night whenever you're watching. All right, bye.